I'm Tommie Lee, and this is the Scam of the Week. The president and CEO of your Better Business Bureau serving Northern Indiana is Jan Diaz, and she once again joins us. Jan, how are you today?
You know, I'm doing well. The weather's getting nicer.
Absolutely. So graduation season, speaking of nicer weather, right around the corner. And whether you're a new grad looking for your first real job, or maybe you're a student hunting down a summer position somewhere, or maybe you're just somebody who's ready for a career change, this is the conversation for you today. Jan is going to tell us about a scam that is showing up right at the moment when people are the most excited about finding work. This one's really timely, Jan.
Yeah, it really is. And what makes this job scam so unsettling is the timing is not an accident, because these scammers know that graduation season is here too. They know that new graduates and other young people are actively looking for jobs. It's a thing that folks do over the summer. So what's happening is these students are receiving text messages from scammers, and the texts look like real job offers. So these offers promise flexible hours, great pay, a quick hiring process, just all the things that you would want if you're looking for a job. But when someone really needs a job, like a recent college graduate, that kind of message can feel exactly like the lucky break that they've been waiting for.
So essentially the scammer is meeting people right at their most vulnerable moment.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And that's why we want everyone listening to just slow down, take a closer look before they respond to any text they've received with a job proposition.
So walk us through it, Jan. What does it actually look like when somebody receives one of these messages?
Yeah, great questions, Tommy. So these scams usually begin when a person gets a text. It's unsolicited. It comes out of nowhere from someone claiming to represent a well-known company, or it could be a recruiting firm. So the text message will say something like, "We found your resume," or things like, "We have an exciting opportunity for you." And in some cases, the text message even includes the name of a company that you actually recognize. Ooh. So right away, the message does feel like a real thing. It feels personal, even if you've never applied for any type of job at that particular company.
Well, that's clever. It feels like somebody specifically reached out to you.
Yeah, that's it. And that personal feeling is the whole point of what the scammer's trying to manufacture. So once a person responds to the text, the scammer moves the conversation to a private messaging app, and then comes a fake interview. And I say interview loosely because the whole process is just shockingly fast. The scammer will ask a few quick questions. You spend maybe 5 minutes texting, and then suddenly you're being offered the job.
Which honestly sounds amazing. There's no long waiting process. There's no callbacks to deal with. But that ease is the trap, yes?
Yes, it is. And when you stop to think about it, real employers have a hiring process. It's going to take some time to go through that process. Legitimate employers review resumes. They conduct real interviews. They also check references. All of that takes time. So a job offer after a 5-minute text conversation is not how a valid hiring process works. So once the fake job offer is made by the scammer, that's when the real ask comes. So the scammer will either request personal information, things like social security number or bank account details, or they're going to ask for money up front for things like training materials or equipment.
And after all that trust building, either they want your personal information or they want your money.
Yeah, or both. And there is one more twist that catches some folks off guard completely. Sometimes the scammer sends what looks like a real paycheck, and it's actually for more money than you expected, which is an odd thing. But then you're asked to deposit the check, keep a portion of the money, send the rest back for supplies or fees. So here's the thing. The check looks completely legitimate, but it's actually fake. And by the time your bank gets the check and flags it and figures out that it's fraudulent, any money that you've sent to the scammer is gone. And then you're responsible for the full amount of the check that was deposited into your account.
That's an old scammer favorite that we have touched on many times over the years. You could actually deposit that check and think the money's real, but then you end up losing money because you thought you already earned that money in addition to having the money that was lost that you returned to the scammer.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. So this type of job scam and losing money from it happens more than people realize. So every single step in the process of this scam is designed to build just enough trust to make the next request feel reasonable.
All right. So bottom line it for us. What do we tell job seekers to watch out for? How do the new graduates and students and others protect themselves from these scams?
Yeah, it really comes down to remembering four things, and they're simple enough to share with someone in your life who is currently job hunting. The first thing is just do your research, verify the job offer independently, which means if you get a text message about a job opening, just go directly to the company's official website and look for that position in their careers section because it should be there.
So go find the company yourself rather than clicking on a link that the scammer sent you.
Exactly. And second, treat any unsolicited job messages as a red flag, which is a text that you weren't expecting to receive, because legitimate employers typically contact their candidates through formal applications or professional platforms like LinkedIn. So a job offer that arrives through a random text message from a number you don't recognize, it deserves a lot of skepticism.
And if something feels off about the message, follow that instinct. It's worth paying attention to.
Yeah, that's right, Tommy. Always trust that instinct. And the third thing is never send money or personal information in a hiring process. So a real employer is not going to ask you to pay for training. They're not going to ask you to pay for equipment or application fees. So a real employer will not ask you for your social security number or bank details before you have officially started a job.
And that one feels so obvious once you say it out loud, but in the moment when you're excited about the job, it might not register as a warning sign.
Yeah, that's right. And that's exactly why scammers do it. The excitement over getting a job, it actually lowers our guard. And so, the fourth thing is to watch out for any type of pressure. So if someone is putting pressure on you to accept a job offer immediately, or if they act as if the opportunity will disappear if you don't respond right away, that urgency to push you into something before thinking, it's a major red flag. A real employer is going to give you time to make a thoughtful decision.
So verify the job, be skeptical of unsolicited messages, never pay or share personal info up front, and make sure you slow down when somebody's pressuring you to act fast. Those 4 steps could save you a lot of money and a lot of stress while you're on the job hunt.
Yeah, they really could. And sharing those 4 steps with a new graduate or a job seeker you care about might be the most helpful thing that you do today.
Jan, let's wrap up by talking about what happens if somebody realizes that this has already happened to them. What's their next step? What do they do?
Yeah, well, first, just know that these scammers are designed to be very professional sounding. They're just very good at making fake opportunities feel like they're real. And this can happen to anyone. So just know that you're not alone in that. And if you shared financial information with the scammer, contact your bank and your credit card company right away and explain what happened. So the sooner you make that call, the better your chances of limiting any damage or loss of funds. And also, if you shared personal information like a social security number or even a date of birth, make sure you place a fraud alert on your credit report as quickly as possible. And so a fraud alert will notify the lender to take extra steps to verify your identity before any new accounts can be opened in your name. And this really helps to protect you going forward.
And I know people sometimes feel embarrassed about reporting something like this, but the reporting part of this is so important.
Yeah, It is important, and you're right, Tommy. Report the scam. You can do that to BBB Scam Tracker at bbb.org/scam tracker. And you can also report it to the Federal Trade Commission at reportfraud.ftc.gov. So filing a report helps warn other job seekers in your community. And it also gives us the patterns that we need to track down these scammers. That's our goal. Filing just one report can protect a lot of people from going through the same type of experience.
Jan, very important information, especially right now with so many people who are actively looking for work. We appreciate it. The excitement of a new opportunity should never have to come with this kind of risk. So everybody be careful out there.
Yeah, it really shouldn't have to come with that type of risk. And we also want folks to remember, if a job offer shows up out of nowhere and it feels too good to be true, just take a breath before you respond. Slow down, verify the opportunity on your own, and trust your instincts always. A real job will absolutely stand up to a little extra research.
Perfectly said. For everybody listening, share this with anyone you know who is job hunting right now, especially those new graduates who are stepping out into the world. A little bit of awareness goes a long way. Develop those habits early. Thank you so much for being here as always, Jan. We'll talk to you again next week on the Scam of the Week.
Hey, sounds great, Tommie. See you then.
Podcasts by Federated Media.